Hey, let's talk about The Queen of the Cicadas by Castro, or as it's known, La Reina de la Chicharas. Hey, I didn't take Spanish in high school, I took French, so forgive my pronunciation. This was roughly around 224 pages. It was kind of a fast-paced read, but one that I didn't want to blow through too fast. This is very much a hate crime turned into a neo-pagan religion, I guess you could say. Very much a paranormal kind of book going on. I've seen it classified on Goodreads as horror and magical realism, and I can kind of see that because of how, like, there's this old ancient goddess from Mexico that is kind of trying to cross the border and become real again. It's kind of hard to explain. There's a main character, Belinda, and she ends up at her friend's wedding, and the wedding takes place at a haunted farm, and the haunted farm was the scene of the hate crime against this one lady named Milagro. And let's just say it's basically kind of like... Okay, technical difficulties. My camera battery died, so let's resume. Alright, so this book, V. Castro's writing, is very transparent. It's very honest at times. I'm going to say even brutally honest, because, okay, well, I'll explain that. I actually enjoy reading sex scenes or sexual things in horror, and I'll admit that some of the sex scenes towards the end of the book were pretty hot. But then there were some scenes, or some, like, ideations, I guess you could say, that came off as a little awkward. And I'm going to say they came off as awkward because there was one mention of the main character, Belinda, and she's talking about going back to her hotel room and masturbating, and you're thinking, oh, if it's a woman, it's hot, right? We're thinking that a woman going back to her hotel room is hot. But if we flip that, and if it was a guy saying he's going to go back and jerk off, we're not going to think that's so hot. So that's why I'm saying that at times, some of the sexual ideations were a little awkward. I'm going to say they were awkward, like Richard Lehman kind of awkward. If you've ever read Richard Lehman and how he is, like, with sexual things and sexual nature, they were just kind of, let's just say, Richard Lehman is very awkward when it comes to sexual things. And sometimes in this book, it comes across as being very awkward. I do appreciate this book for what it is. I appreciate the brutal honesty. It is centered around a hate crime. But, you know, she tries to make something positive of that, and this neo-paganist religion is created. And it kind of revolves around the haunting of this farmhouse, I guess you could say, and traveling back and forth between America and Mexico. It was kind of interesting at times, and I enjoyed the book. It's a short read, it's not too long, but it does very much come across as Bloody Mary, you know, with a little extras added on. So it's not 100% original. I guess I was kind of expecting it to be a little more about, like, Mexican culture, Mexican kind of heritage, kind of to bleed through the pages, but it didn't really come out that way. It is what it is. I mean, you can appreciate it for what it is. It is a good read. I gave this a 3.5 rating. Which doesn't really translate on Goodreads, because Goodreads only does whole stars, so it's 4 stars on Goodreads, but I really think this is a 3.5 star read. It's a good read. This came out by Flame Tree Press. It was kind of a little bit of a slow burn at first. You really have to pay attention to what's going on, because the transition from past to present, it kind of jumps around a lot, introduces a lot of characters. you kind of have to pay attention to what's going on, because as new characters get introduced and they flip-flop between the scenes of past and present, and you really got to keep track of what's going on so you don't get confused. There's a lot of names of people out in the story, so you really got to keep focused and pay attention to what's going on, or else you'll easily get sidetracked and not know what's going on. But I thought this was a nice little story. I enjoyed it. Of course, as always, for you folks in the U.S., I will have a link to Amazon down below for you to check that out. If you got something from watching this video, by all means, help support my channel by donating to my coffee. And if you came here looking for more book recommendations and book reviews, by all means, hit that subscribe button. And while you're there, hit that notification bell while you're at it. This has been Dan. This has been the Queen of the Cicadas, or La Reina de las Chicharas. Chichara, chichara, chichara. You had to say it 3 times in the mirror for her to appear. It's kind of weird. Too much like Bloody Mary, if you ask me. But that's it. That's what I got for you guys. Till next time, stay healthy and be good to each other.